There is a moment in every one of these stories where everything shifts, where the person who thought they had all the power suddenly realizes they had none. That moment is what we live for. Story 1. For 6 months, a man named Craig had been blocking a fire hydrant outside his business. His neighbors had complained. The city had sent 2 warning letters. Craig threw both of them away. He told anyone who would listen that the city had bigger problems than his parking spot. Then one morning, a man in plain clothes walked past Craig's car, stopped, looked at it, pulled out a badge. He was not a regular parking officer. He was a federal fire code compliance investigator, in town to inspect the district for a federal safety audit. He issued Craig a federal violation notice on the spot. Federal fines are not the same as city fines. Craig's fine was $3,400. His business also received a mandatory fire safety inspection the following week. 3 additional violations were found. Total cost to Craig that month was over $8,000. He moved his car permanently. Story 2. A property manager named Diane had been shortchanging maintenance workers for years, paying below the agreed rate, withholding tips from residents, falsifying work orders. Everyone knew. Nobody could prove it, until a maintenance worker named Carlos started keeping records. Every job, every rate discrepancy, every falsified order he could document. 14 months of records. What Diane did not know about Carlos was that before becoming a maintenance worker, he had spent 8 years as a labor rights investigator for the state. He knew exactly which laws applied. He filed a complaint with the state labor board, with 14 months of documentation attached. The investigation found Diane had violated labor laws across 11 separate categories. She was fined heavily, required to repay every worker she had shortchanged going back 3 years, and she lost her property management license. Carlos was offered a position at the labor board. He took it. Story 3. A driver had been parking in a university-disabled bay for 2 semesters. Same spot. Every Tuesday and Thursday morning. Campus security had ticketed him 4 times. He appealed every ticket and won on technicalities. He told his friends the university was too disorganized to enforce anything. Then one Thursday, a woman in a faculty jacket approached his car as he got out. She introduced herself. She was the university's legal counsel and the chair of the campus accessibility committee. She had personally reviewed all 4 of his appeals and had spent the past 3 weeks closing every technicality he had used. She handed him a revised violation notice, non-appealable, with a copy of the updated policy he had accidentally helped create. His parking privileges were suspended for the remainder of the academic year. He had to park in the general lot 8 minutes away, every Tuesday, every Thursday, for 7 months. Story 4. A manager at a distribution center had been taking credit for his team's safety record, presenting their innovations as his own in quarterly reports, getting bonuses based on their work. One team member named Rosa had been documenting every original idea with internal memos for 2 years, time-stamped, distributed to the team. Undeniable. She did not confront the manager. She requested a direct meeting with the VP of Operations, brought her documentation. The VP spent 40 minutes reading through it. Then she asked Rosa one question. She asked why Rosa had not come forward sooner. Rosa said she wanted to be sure. The VP nodded. The manager was moved to a non-supervisory role the following month. Rosa was promoted to team lead. Her first act in the new role was to implement a formal idea documentation system across the entire center, so it could never happen to anyone else again. Some people take forever to act because they want to be ready. Rosa was ready. Subscribe to Karma Delivered. New stories every Tuesday and Friday, where karma always finds a way.